This is not a story about murder. It only looks like one. This is a story about a boy who loved his mentor enough to do the one thing the world will never forgive him for. Pause. They will remember the ending. They always do. They will forget everything that led to it. The boy arrived in the mentor's life as a fracture, confused, directionless, unfinished. He had no identity yet, only potential trembling in uncertainty. The mentor did not mold him gently. He broke him first, then taught him how to rebuild himself stronger. Years passed. Lessons turned into discipline. Discipline into purpose. Purpose into loyalty. The boy did not owe his success to talent. He owed it to suffering guided by someone who cared enough to never let him escape it. Then suffering came for the mentor. Not sudden. Not dramatic. Slow. Persistent. Unrelenting. Pain settled into the mentor's body like a permanent resident. Days became negotiations with agony. Nights became battlegrounds he always lost. Medicine stretched time, but stole dignity. The man who once taught endurance now survived one breath at a time. The boy watched helplessly as the mentor shrank. Not in importance, but in freedom. Strength faded. Movement slowed. The pain stayed. The mentor's world became small, but his mind remained cruelly aware of everything he had lost. That awareness was the punishment. And then came understanding. The boy realized the mentor was no longer living. He was being kept alive. There is a difference the world refuses to see. As the suffering deepened, something else grew. A silent agreement without words. The boy understood what was being asked long before it was ever expressed. Because mentorship is not just about learning how to live, it is also about learning when living turns into torture. The final days were quiet. Too quiet. Not peaceful. Just empty. The boy prepared himself for the weight he would carry forever. There would be no gratitude, no forgiveness, only judgment. But love does not measure consequences. It measures necessity. The act itself was not rage, not mercy in the
This is not a
sense,
story about
not
murder.
rebellion.
It only looks like
It
one.
was acceptance.
This is a story about
When
a
it
boy
ended,
who loved his
the
mentor
pain
enough to
ended
do
too.
the
The mentor left the world the way he had lived, without spectacle, without apology. The boy remained. They called it murder. They always would. Because language has no word for compassion that breaks the law. Prison did what pain could not. It aged him quickly, silenced him, carved the memory into something permanent. He never defended himself, never asked for understanding. Some truths do not survive explanation. Years passed. The boy became a mentor himself, not by choice, but by inevitability. He taught others discipline, control, responsibility for their actions. He never taught forgiveness, because some actions are not meant to be forgiven, only carried. Every year, on the same date, he closes his eyes and remembers the lesson that cost him everything. Not with regret, not with pride, with peace. Because sometimes, the greatest gift is not life extended at all costs, but pain ended, when there is no other way left.